The most crazy lies on paternity court.
It's so many men going on and who slept with who. I'm just trying to keep up.
I'm trying to understand everybody's story. So you can't keep up with me. I'm just trying to slow it down a little bit.
No. You need to slow yourself down.
Now I know you all don't have no sense. What you need to be talking about is that lie you told saying you weren't sleeping with nobody else.
A hilarious turn of events. After failing a lie detector test and confessing to cheating by his girlfriend, Mr. Moody concludes that he might not be the proud papa of that 3-year-old bundle of joy. Surely this groundbreaking revelation will lead to a lifetime of trust and happiness. No.
When I first met Miss Vaughn, I asked her 3 questions. Do you want a relationship? Do you want to just have sex? Or you just want to be friends? But she told me she wanted a relationship. So okay, that's what I gave. I gave her the relationship. I started questioning her about it. Like, why you not coming to see me no more like you used to? When I leave to go, sometimes I leave to go work at 12.
Now that's one enthusiastic fella, Mr. Moody. He mentions how her behavior changed and he constantly questioned her about her actions, including her hangout points when he was away. This culminated in Miss Vaughn admitting that their older son might not be his. Yeah, you heard that right. I sense a liar in the room.
You know, I got to take the DNA test. I have to do that. So what I did, we got the money together and we went and took a DNA test. Come to find out, the child was mine.
All right.
Which made me I felt good about that.
So you got that taken care of. The older child was yours, but you say the warning signs kept happening?
Oh my goodness.
Miss Vaughn admits to her infidelity during their relationship, but she's convinced that Mr. Moody is the biological father of Kadir. She acknowledges her mistakes and the fact that she was not ready for a relationship at the time due to her youth. Now, probably it's just a little too late for that.
In my mind and in my feelings, this is what I wanted. I wanted a family, but I didn't react it like that.
All right, so Ms. Vaughn, you admit there were other men you were having sex with during the time you were also having sex with Mr. Moody.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so much so that you had to admit the older son may not be his.
I did admit it, yes, Your Honor.
Now isn't that some Sherlock-level action? Mr. Moody reveals how Miss Vaughn's actions continued to raise doubts, such as finding grass in his car and the infamous hotel incident. He emphasizes his difficulty in trusting her, especially when she's away from home. What is this baby mama up to?
She told me that she did after the fact.
That doesn't mean I told you the truth and I didn't think nothing was wrong with that.
After the fact,
I didn't think nothing was wrong with that.
After the fact? Oh, you want to tell me the truth after the fact? Oh, she do that a lot too. She tell me the truth after the fact.
After the fact. So Miss Vaughn, were you cheating then too? You honest? You say you became a woman and you just started telling the truth.
At that time, Your Honor, no, I was not cheating.
The couple's rocky history is further complicated by a lie detector test that Miss Vaughn took, which she failed miserably. Mr. Moody is convinced that this reflects her unfaithfulness and lack of trustworthiness, leaving their relationship hanging by a thread.
I had to pay $400 for them lies. $400.
Woo!
She wants to get married, young. I told her, you take this lie detector test, and if you pass this lie detector test, I'll marry you that same day and get you a ring that following week.
All right.
If she failed that, sir, I wonder what you are doing here, Mr. Moody. Despite her past mistakes, Miss Vaughn pleads for understanding, asserting that she was changed and become a better person. Well, we'll find that out in a while. However, Mr. Moody still carries his doubts and fears affecting their relationship.
No matter if you slept with 50 men or had oral sex with 50 men, tell me on everything I love, I would not go nowhere. I told her that from the point she got in the car to the point she got out of the car at where she was gonna take the test at, y'all. She takes the test. The man come out and called me, looked at me and be like, sir.
Okay, so after enough discussions and the baby mama finally admitting to all her little spin-offs, it was time for Judge Lake to see if the baby mama was indeed lying this time or not. So, here's the concealed envelope we've all been waiting for.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Moody, you are the father.
Hello. No, don't want mine.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, it made me feel a whole lot better, Your Honor. Thank you.
I can see that.
Miss Mellerson, the distraught plaintiff, found herself in a complex paternity dispute involving not one, but two potential fathers, Mr. Williams and Mr. Merritt. With one baby at the center of this emotional tug of war, the courtroom was poised for a gripping paternity showdown.
I had met Mr. Williams in 2012, and from there it just began with our relationship.
Your Honor, it was never a relationship.
It was a sexual
We had
relationship.
Sex,
First
we had
of all,
sex twice, and we
Your
never.
Honor, he is lying because number one, Your Honor,
Your Honor,
this man right
Your Honor,
here,
for
I
it
don't
to be
know
a
what he's trying to
relationship-
cover up.
It appears that if the baby's mother was involved with two men, the baby's father also had connections with two women. Loyalty seems to be a rare commodity in these situations. To add to the drama, Mr. Williams claimed that he was ghosted by the plaintiff, who had a history of frequently changing her phone number. Talk about some suspicion.
we need to get a test and everything. She said, okay, well, I'll let you know when I have my doctor's appointments. After she mentioned that to me, she didn't even have the same number. I never knew where she lived at.
I continuously
So how was
changed my
I?
number.
She never called me either. When she called
Did
me,
you change your number after you told him
I
you were
constantly
pregnant?
change I just changed my number again.
Now, here's where the real drama unfolds. Following the ever-changing phone numbers, the baby's mother alleged that she did pay a visit to Mr. Williams with pregnancy documents in hand. Isn't that what this whole paternity doubt revolves around?
I had gave him papers showing him that I was pregnant. When I went to his house, he had this stupid look on his face like, wait a minute, is she really
Your Honor.
pregnant? Even then, I'm like, if you slept with me, just take it as there is a possibility
Your Honor.
of you being my
Even
child's
after-
father.
Timing was indeed a significant factor in this story. Miss Mellerson's actions were anything but consistent, as she apparently waited a lengthy 5 to 6 months before informing Mr. Merritt about the situation. And yet again, the issue of frequently changing phone numbers reared its head. What was the deal with this constant number-changing game?
So 5 or 6 months pregnant, she showed up at the door?
He's
She
not
said she
telling
erased
why.
my number.
Here we go with
you
this
know.
phone again.
I did not have his number at the time.
But wasn't he your boyfriend?
We had broke up in September 2012. We stopped talking. I lost my license in like October-ish. I got my license back in April of 2012. And that's when I came to him and told him.
The drama was far from over. In fact, it was only heating up. It seemed that the baby's mother held all the cards and wasn't allowing anyone else to have their say. However, that kind of behavior didn't sit well in the courtroom, and the judge's patience was wearing thin.
You know what? It's not time for you to be adding in any other verbiage that's not needed. It's so many men going on and who slept with who. I'm just trying to keep up.
I'm
so
trying,
I'm trying to
and
understand
while you bringing up, I'm
everybody's
trying to slow
story.
down so you can't keep up with me. I'm just trying to slow it down a little bit.
No. You need to slow yourself down.
Next in line, the girlfriend stepped into the spotlight, armed with evidence of her communication with the baby's mother regarding the paternity matter. However, it became evident that the baby's mother had a serious penchant for dishonesty, as her words to the girlfriend did not align with the actual facts. Quite the revelation indeed.
Her first message was, "Do I know you?" And from that point, I let her know, you and I may know the same person, Stacey Williams, that you two may have a baby together, and I don't condone an absent parent. If you need help, I don't mind helping you. This is everything I said to her. But she made a statement that she had a DNA test done and her baby was light-skinned like the daddy.
Finally, we arrive at the pivotal moment of truth, a moment that was eagerly anticipated. The verdict was poised to resolve many pressing questions, with the primary one being whether the baby's mother was a crazy liar or if there was a kernel of truth in her claims. Let's dive in and find out.
You are not the father.
Well, I know who it is.
Ms. Mellerson, you could have saved
I'm
us
100%.
all.
Yeah, I'm not coming up here trying to,
And basically what you're saying,
I did not
process
know.
of elimination, you really didn't know.
Right.
And now that these two are
I
ruled
know
out.
100%.
In the courtroom of paternity court, we meet Miss Lopez and Mr. Carbajal, who are embroiled in a paternity dispute. Go figure. Lopez accuses Carbajal of trying to deny paternity using a dubious DNA testing scam. Oh boy, where have we come to? In the opening statements, Miss Lopez explains her struggle as a single mother. Probably something that might make you want to cry.
You're having sex.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unprotected sex. How do we get to the point where you find out you're pregnant and there's a question regarding the paternity?
Your Honor, I found out I was pregnant. He did not have anything to say. We talked later, and he was still in shock, telling me that he didn't want to have a baby with someone he did not love.
All right, I think I might be getting to understand this. But hey, the dispute started when Miss Lopez became pregnant. Mr. Carbajal seemed unenthusiastic and claimed he didn't want a child with someone he didn't love. What logic is that? Suspicion arose when Miss Lopez showed a picture of another man who resembled their daughter.
Growing up, I did not have a father, and I did not want my daughter growing up without a father.
Well,
It hurts me to know that she does not have him around. He says he's the father. He even has her name tattooed on his arm. He was there a
You
week.
have her name tattooed on your arm?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Even though you doubt it?
When she was first born, I was attached to her.
But there's no convincing Mr. Carbajal. He believes there might be another man involved because of the look-alike photo. However, Miss Lopez adamantly insists that Aliana is his daughter and emphasizes her desire for her child to have a father figure in her life. You should have been careful, ma'am.
They didn't look nothing like us. My mom and my dad were saying
Your daughter did look
that
like you.
they had nothing related to us.
All
I've
right,
seen
so
pictures
these
out
are the doubts as it relates to Aliana. Let me understand the doubts as it relates to Noah.
She didn't let me sign his birth certificate. I didn't even sign his birth certificate. Why wouldn't she let me? She's saying I'm the father. Why couldn't I sign a birth certificate?
Because you weren't there from the beginning.
If you can't get enough of this, just hold on. Their second child, Noah, was also under scrutiny. Mr. Carbajal questions why he wasn't allowed to sign Noah's birth certificate if he's the father. Miss Lopez claims he was absent from the beginning and wouldn't commit to being a father. How about the granny tags in with her 2 cents?
When he was first born, like she didn't let me sign his birth certificate. I didn't even. Why couldn't I sign a birth certificate?
Because you weren't there from the beginning.
I was there.
I was there when they both were born.
No, Sean,
was
first
there.
of
I
all,
was
hold
there.
on. Let's get some order. Not there.
Miss Avila, they're saying they were at the hospital. You say they weren't?
I was there when Aliana was born.
The discussion moves towards a dubious at-home DNA test that Miss Lopez claims Mr. Carbajal performed. The home test raises questions due to the lack of proper identification, and Miss Lopez questions its legitimacy. Well, Mr. Carbajal, if that was indeed fake, you do have creative ways of avoiding responsibilities.
In the paperwork, do you have to include photo ID?
No, nothing like that.
No ID?
No.
So no ID to identify which
All we gotta do is
kids,
swabbing or just put the name of the father and
and
the kids.
you write that name
Yeah.
in.
The names are wrong on there. My daughter's name is spelled wrong.
It was the
I
kids.
do not know if
it was the kids.
Despite the confusion around the home DNA test, Judge Lake decides to pull the curtain off with a new laboratory-conducted DNA test for more reliable results. Oh man, and this time around, it's gonna be all true. Let's see what happens.
Mr. Carbajal, you are not her father.
My mom wouldn't have spent so much money on those tests to
We
be
spend a
swabbing
lot of
other
money.
people.
We spend a
other
lot of
kids.
money to do those tests.
You guys should have still told us what you were
No,
going
you think we were
to
gonna
do.
tell? You think you guys were gonna let us do it?
Okay, so now we know who's been lying here. And that's just sad. Come on, Miss Lopez, you could have been more truthful. Also, if this result wasn't positive, well then we have another child waiting in the line to find out his fate.
Mr. Carbajal, you are not Noah's
Thank you,
father.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What do you gotta say? What do you gotta say for yourself? Huh? Why you been lying to me that they're my kids when they're not?
And you know my
Who you
mom
been
got really
sleeping with?
attached to them. You know how much that's gonna hurt my mom?
Yes, I do.
You might be planning to watch a movie this Sunday night, but there comes the paternity call that drags you to court. Oh boy, something similar happened with Mr. Bell, as Miss Cousin claims he's the father of her 7-month-old child. Yeah, drama, right? Facts check time. They're all fed up with Mr. Bell's lies.
I'm fed up with his lies because he a two-time liar. He told my daughter
This
that
you want-
he
it's
was
about you want a
single,
baby, though.
that he was not in a relationship.
Why you can't-
I know he was in
Let
a
her
relationship
talk, man.
with her
Let her talk.
because I seen his picture on her phone. When she started
Who is
being
about?
with him, I seen how her attitude changed.
Who last sleep
I
with,
knew
you or her?
then that she was pregnant.
Now, Mr. Bell is over there denying being the father of Taquan, and he's gone to the extreme by blocking all contact with Miss Cousin. Classic move, right? Oh, and he's also claiming that she's just trying to bust up his 6-year relationship. Trust issues much?
What was the nature of the relationship in your mind?
We met at work. I only seen her outside of work maybe twice. We was never together because I had to go home to her. I was staying with her and my kid.
Were you flirting with her at work?
Yeah, but
Were you asking her what she's eating for lunch and buy you some too?
no.
Well, Miss Cousins and her mother weren't buying Mr. Bell's story. They say he's a two-timing liar, and he had their daughter thinking he was in a relationship with her while he was actually in a relationship with someone else. Smooth, Mr. Bell, real smooth.
They're claiming that this was going on. This was an ongoing relationship. That's not true?
No.
Yes, it is true, Your Honor.
Destiny, I see the tears in your eyes. What are you feeling right now?
Because he lied. No, he lied. Why would you lie on me for no reason?
Because he felt your weakness. That's what he felt.
Oh, and Miss Destiny, the daughter, well, she's backing up her mom. She met Mr. Bell at work, and he told her he wasn't with anyone. But she claims they had an ongoing relationship, and Mr. Bell had the nerve to let her buy him food and pay his phone bill. Talk about a free ride.
Why do you doubt?
When she got pregnant, I found out she was pregnant through a manager at the job. He called me in the office and told me she was pregnant. And I told him the same thing I'm telling her. It's not mine.
Why you lying?
Destiny, how did it go?
When I came home, I called him. I said, I'm pregnant. He said, oh, well, call me back. Let me know what you gonna do. And that was it, and he hung up the phone.
Fast forward, Miss Destiny gets pregnant, and Mr. Bell starts distancing himself, saying he's not the father. He even claims she told her manager at work that the baby isn't his. More lies or just a misunderstanding? You decide.
Mr. Bell, you said that she didn't tell you, she told the manager and the manager told you.
Yes, and once I went to her and told her that it's not mine, the first thing, I don't want no baby by you anyway.
I don't want a baby by you anyway is different from the baby is not yours. Which did she say?
Both.
Why you lying?
Mr. Bell, oh, he's not done with the lies. He says he only slept with Destiny once in a car, and Destiny's mom ain't buying it. She claims they've slept together 3 times unprotected. Ouch! And Mr. Bell's girlfriend, Miss King, oh, she chimes in with her side of the story, making things even messier.
I was pregnant with our second daughter. I guess you could say a mutual friend happened to recognize Cortez on her page, like for his pictures and stuff like that. And he asked if Cortez and I were still together. He gave me her name or whatever. I searched for her on Instagram. Of course I'm gonna search. I see Cortez is her profile picture, and I see her bio. She's like, oh, I love him. That's the one for me and stuff like that.
Well, Mr. Bell, you do have a lot going on in here. And the only sentence that we've heard from the plaintiff's mouth was, why have you been lying? So now it was time for the paternity police to catch whether you've been lying or not. Here are the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bell, you are the father.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
I'll take my child support papers in the mail.
You've been chirping off all day.
All day.
You could not let them get a sentence out without downplaying everything they said. Everything.